I think it'd be pretty cool to glow in the dark. I think my daughter McKinley would love it. When we die, do we get wings? I think that's the question a lot of people are asking. Do we get wings or do we become angels? You know, in the 5.5 years I was in Nebraska as a pastor, I did 25 funerals. And at almost every single one of these funerals, someone would ask a question, say a comment, or sing a song like Jealous of the Angels, saying or implying that their loved one would become an angel. It's a very common belief, even among Christians. And I hate to be the one to burst your bubble, but the Bible does not actually teach us that we become angels. However, if you have your sights set on that, I think you're looking a little too low. In fact, we're going to be even greater than the angels. So I don't know why this idea has crept in and it's just so popular everywhere, but everybody seems to think I die and I become an angel. Maybe it's from the TV shows like the 90s classic Touched by an Angel, or the more recent Drop Dead Diva, or the old classic, now that one actually is a classic, It's a Wonderful Life, that every time a bell rings, an angel gets its wings. We think that people become angels. They get wings when they go to heaven. But the Bible doesn't teach anything like that. It teaches actually something better. So it is true that our bodies are going to be different in heaven. In 1 Corinthians 15, 48 and 49, it makes it clear. As was the earthly man, so are those of the earth. And as is the heavenly man, so also are those who are of heaven. Meaning we have a type of body here on earth. We're going to have a different type of body in heaven. But it's actually going to be something greater than the angels. See, what the scriptures teach us are that the angels are created beings that God made. They serve him. They're his messengers. That's what the word angel means, a messenger from God. And yet it says that angels do serve God. Right now, we as humans here on earth are a little lower than the angels. It tells us that in Hebrews chapter 2, verses 6 and 7. God made mankind lower than the angels. But that's only temporarily. See, Jesus, we know, was above the angels as God himself, as one of the persons of the Trinity. And yet when he came to earth, he made himself temporarily lower than the angels. It says that as well in Hebrews 2, verse 9. But that was only for a little while, because after Jesus died, ascended, rose from the dead, and then ascended into heaven, he had this new form of body that was actually greater, higher, better than the angels. In 1 Corinthians 15:20, it tells us too that if we believe in Jesus Christ, when we rise from the dead, we're going to have a new body like Jesus's. It says, but Christ has indeed been raised from the dead, the first fruits of those who have fallen asleep. The first fruit. We see Jesus, he has a great body. That means we eventually will be the same type of fruit, the same type of body that Jesus has after he rose from the dead. Now that's pretty great because that means it's going to be better than the angels. It says something similar in Philippians chapter 3, verse 21. It says that Jesus, by the power that enables him to bring everything under his control, will transform our lowly bodies so that they will be like his glorious body. So we're going to be greater than the angels. Our bodies are going to be better than the angels when we get to heaven, which is an amazing promise we have for those of us who are believers in Jesus Christ. So what is our body going to be like? Will we have wings? Well, we should actually look at what Jesus' body was like after he rose from the dead. And there's some interesting things about it. It was physical. It had some ties to his earthly body. His disciples, when they realized he had risen from the dead, did eventually recognize him as the one that they knew and loved. They hugged him. They touched him. They shared breakfast with him. They had some fish on the beach. So we're going to be able to do those same things with our body, but it's going to be some interesting things because Jesus did some special things. In John chapter 20, it seems that he walks through a locked door. In Luke chapter 24, after talking with some guys all day, he disappears like that. In Acts chapter 1, he is even seen ascending into the air, like he's flying into the clouds. So maybe, just maybe, those special abilities that Jesus' glorified, resurrected body are going to be the same type of things that we get because he, again, is the first fruit and we will be like him. So does that mean we get to fly? Maybe. Maybe. In 1 Corinthians 15:44, it says, the body that is sown is a natural body. It is raised a spiritual body. One of my great professors at Denver Seminary, Craig Blomberg, he's just brilliant. And he says that word spiritual body should actually be translated as supernatural body. So the bodies we're going to get are supernatural. They're better. They're greater than the angels. So what will those supernatural bodies be like? Well, we can look at Jesus, but I think we can also use our imagination. Randy Alcorn, who has a great book on heaven called Heaven, he writes this: we don't know the glorious plans God has for our bodies. We may have a whale's ability to dive or an eagle's ability to fly. Maybe we'll run like a cheetah or climb a mountain like a goat. I think that would sound pretty awesome if we had some of those abilities. Personally, I'd kind of like the bioluminescence of one of those fish that are in the deep sea because I think it'd be pretty cool to glow in the dark. I think my daughter McKinley would love it. But whatever the abilities we have in this supernatural body, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be amazing. And it's something we can look forward to because it might not have wings. It might not be an angel, but it's actually going to be something even better. Do you have any questions about heaven? Do you wonder about it? Shoot me a comment, send me a message. I'd love to hear. Make sure you subscribe to these midweek moments because next week we're going to be back and we're going to be talking all about dogs and animals. Are they going to be in heaven? Do all dogs go to heaven? That's a great question. And if you have others, I'd love to hear, and maybe we can answer it here on the next midweek moment. Make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you soon.